In the morning, in the evening, or sometime in between. I hope that you will see some Lexi on your screen. Subscribe. How does perfection feel, darling?
Hello, I'm Lexi Soul. This might look like an ordinary shed, but if we travel behind it, we will find a secret garden. So up front, I'd like to say that my mom is responsible for this whole garden. Like, I get really excited in springtime to plant this garden. Like, I get like super stoked, like, ah! And what ends up happening is that we have some grand ideas in springtime and mom takes care of the plants the rest of the year. We love moms. So if you live in Texas, this is what I really wanted. I wanted a persimmon tree. Oh my God, I love persimmons. I started eating them in Korea and they are so tasty. And so that's like what I really wanted to grow. And it turns out that persimmons are one of like the few fruits that actually grow really well here. You have native persimmons and then you have persimmons that are actually from East Asia, basically. And this is a East Asia type of persimmon because that's the kind I wanted. But yeah, persimmons are really good to grow in Texas if you want to do that. We also bought a Santa Rosa plum tree. These two trees, the persimmon and Santa Rosa, were actually my addition. I actually bought them. The reason I really wanted a Santa Rosa plum tree, I wanted a Santa Rosa plum tree, is because I've always heard stories all the time that I was growing up about my great grandmother's Santa Rosa plum tree and how it was just so juicy and amazing and like everything. And so I really wanted a plum tree, and it turns out plums are one of the few fruits that grow well in Texas. Now, this variety is not the best to grow in Texas, but it's okay. Like, it'll still grow fairly well. This is mom's lime tree, and boy, it's taking off. I really think it's gonna turn into a lime bush. In terms of these citrus trees, we don't know how they're gonna do here. I think that they can do well, we just have to cover them. But yeah, this is the lime tree, it's so cool. Aren't the leaves so pretty? Back here is where my mom grows all the herbs. So we have some basil in the pot. The basil, actually, the seeds spread. So you can see over here, see that the seed grows at the top of the plant. So the seed actually blew and traveled. And so now there's like little bits of basil everywhere. So that's really funny. But this is Thai basil. Thai basil is really good, like if you're making an egg scramble, or it's obviously in a lot of like Asian recipes. So that's a really good one to grow. These are my mom's sweet potatoes. This is actually the first year she's growing them, and I think they're doing really well. So I'm excited to taste them. Yeah. If you're impressed by the sweet potatoes over here, then you'll definitely like mom's onions over there. So basically, sweet potatoes and onions are root vegetables, and I just started learning about this, but basically you can take the end of your plant that you buy from the grocery store, you can actually plant it in the ground and it'll start rooting up and you can grow it in your backyard. Isn't that cool-zo? This is mom's avocado plant. Oh my God, I forgot to tell the names of all of the trees. This baby's name is Luther. He is an avocado tree, okay? And I was like kind of really surprised that my mom got an avocado tree because they grow in tropical climates. And I was like, this tree is not gonna survive, like. But you know what? She's been taking it inside the garage in the winter and it's actually been surviving for 2 years. But we don't know about this year because this year she's gonna try just leaving, it's getting so big that she's gonna try just leaving it out here and covering it with tarp and seeing what happens. So we'll see. Hopefully Luther can make it. He's a strong one, you know?
And what about the names of these trees?
Okay, so his name is Smokey and her name is Aretha. And the reason I named this was because Smokey and Aretha, like Smokey Robinson, Aretha Franklin, they grew up next door to each other. And so we thought they would be the perfect names for them. This is a Fuji apple tree. My mom really wanted an apple tree. Fuji grows really well in Texas. I just wish she had gotten a different apple tree because that is not the best apple for baking, but it's okay. Hopefully when the apples come in, we will get lots of fruit. That'll be really nice. I'm just hoping that apples are like really hard to grow. Like they tend to like collect parasites and things like that. So we'll see. I'm hoping it'll be fine. Here are the tomato plants. They're kind of done producing this year, but we definitely got a few. So, and like we're trying to find the best place in the garden for the tomato plants. So that's still kind of a work in progress. But look, they had a lot of room to grow and just really develop this year.
Oh, and those tomatoes were yummy.
Yes. So good job, Mommy. This is a Thai pepper plant. It's doing really, really well. Let me tell you, between the Thai pepper plant And the jalapeno plant, which is over here, we have too many peppers. Like, we can't even give away enough peppers. Just we have bags and bags of peppers in the freezer because that's what we decided to do. We decided to start freezing them. But yeah, if you get what my mom did with this was actually a really good detail. Your plants don't actually have to be annual. If you take them and you plant them at the end of the season, you repot them and you put them in the garage so they don't die off from the winter cold, and you can keep them. So this is a jalapeno plant that's been going, this is its second year, okay? So that's why it's producing so much yield. We have so many peppers that we just don't even know what to do with them. We have gallon Ziploc bags of jalapeno peppers and Thai chili peppers, and like, it's not enough. They're still coming. So if you do this tip, like if you save your plant throughout the winter, you too can have massive yield, baby. Here are the bell peppers, and I actually think these are a special kind of bell peppers. These ones right here, I think they might be tiny bell peppers, like the kind that you only really see in Asian cooking. I don't really know how we got them, but I think that they are the tiny peppers because they don't really get big. But it's really cool because these pepper plants are doing very, very well. And like I said, everything in this bed, it is a 2-year-old plant, not a 1-year-old plant. So that's why it's like really well established and doing well. Like if you just got one from like this spring season, and like if it was the first year, you wouldn't see this much development. It's only because mom has been keeping them for 2 years. We've harvested a lot of the peppers already, so you don't see that many, but you do see a couple on the vine here, and we're also going towards, you know, winter now. So cool. Okay, let's talk about herbs. One of my favorite herbs, but it's a little bit tricky, is mint. This is the chocolate mint, and this is the pineapple mint. And then down here's the regular mint. This one's not doing too well, but it's fine. It's fine. But they all a little bit different flavor. This pineapple mint, I think, will go so well in a drink. All these different mints give different flavors, and they smell good. And then when you're at the store, one really nice thing to do, something mom and I always do, is we go, if the leaf looks clean, we'll pick it off and actually taste it and get a good flavor and see if you are really gonna like that mint. On young chickens, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is super important. If you're going to plant mint, make sure that you plant it in a pot. We have suffered from this personally. If you put mint in the ground, it will take over your entire yard. You think just the bed? No, your entire yard. One time we had half a lawn full of mint, so make sure you plant it in a pot. You're welcome, chickens. And just in case you're wondering, this is more Thai basil. I guess we have 2 pots of it. So yeah. So down here you see the beginnings of cilantro. That's really fun. A note about cilantro, and actually about another plant, which is zucchini and cucumber. Last year mom planted zucchini and cucumber, and oh my gosh, so here's the thing to mind about that. It takes over the whole garden, which is why we didn't go for it this year. This year, like, it's mostly pepper plants. But if you're gonna plant that, make sure that you have like a lot of room, you like clear out a lot of space. You will get a ton of cucumbers and zucchinis. Actually, we had so many that we didn't know what to do with them. Same thing as the peppers. So just make sure you have a lot of space for that. The cilantro seems like it's gonna need a lot of space too. So we'll see next year. Kind of slow to grow, and it doesn't make a lot. So I'm finding it easier to buy it at the store unless there's a hack that I don't know about. So we'll see. We replanted our thyme. We decided to plant it up here. And I will say that it's finally taking off here, but it's taken all season. And I think if you plant it in a place where it has more room to dig its roots in, like this is very shallow, but here's the thyme. Thyme you can use in, oh my gosh, everything, you guys. You can use it obviously in Italian dishes. You can use it in Caribbean dishes. You can use it just, I find myself using thyme so often, like for chicken dishes and things like that. So that is really good to use. And also parsley. Parsley is so useful. It comes up all the time. If you like start digging into cooking, you'll see parsley mentioned a lot. And then you don't have to run to the store and buy it, and it's so easy to grow. So that is a really good thing to know. It's just so easy. You just pop it in the ground, it just grows, man. So yeah, this is our lemon tree. Oh my God, we decided to name her Patty. She's been doing really well in the pot for many years. Patty, like Patty LaBelle. I think Mom had her in the pot for like 6 or 7 years, and she would just take her into the garage whenever it got really cold outside. So now this is the first year that we're putting her in the ground, and we're a little bit nervous because Texas has a frost, but we're gonna cover it and we're gonna see. Have Ella. Yes, she's named after Ella Fitzgerald. Oh my gosh, so she is a tangerine tree, and she just has some of the best fruit. Unfortunately not seedless, but yeah, basically doing the same thing with her. She was doing well in a pot. She's doing even better in the ground though. I really feel like she wasn't thriving in that pot, so it was time to try to put her in the ground. Bee balm is a really useful plant that I just found out about, okay? So it's really cool because you can use it. Let me tell you how I've used it. Because it actually has links back to the Native Americans. There's a bee here, which just means your garden is healthy. Okay, it actually has links back to the Native Americans. Native Americans found it very healing. They used to use it for salves. They used to use it for tea. I think it's called Osiago tea or something. But anyway, I found this really interesting. So one thing that you can do, you grow this bee balm, is you take the leaves and you pick them, you let them dry out, and then you make a tea out of it. It's very relaxing. It like helps you go to bed. So I really like that about bee balm. And then also recently I used bee balm to make a salve for my sister. So that was the same thing. I took the leaves off, I waited for the leaves to dry, and then I put them in a jar with some olive oil and some other oils that I wanted, right? And then I let that sit in my Instapot. Then I added some beeswax, and then bada bada boom, we done, salve. And my sister uses that salve like every day. So that's pretty dang good. Maybe one day if you guys are interested, I'll show you that. So yeah. The rosemary plant, and honestly this is one of the plants that I use the most, okay, in the garden. In fact, I mean, you can see how it's filled this pot over the years, and I'm a little afraid to put it in the ground because I don't know when it would stop growing, and like you only have so much space, like, you know, on the property, I guess. But yeah, it really flourishes if you want to put it in a pot, and this has been over many years. Look at how big it's gotten. Like I said, it's really great. You come out here, you don't want to snip from the inside of the plant, you want to snip from the outside of the plant so you don't disrupt its growth. But yeah, usually if I'm making dinner, I come out here with some scissors and I snip down here, like 2 or 3 vines, and I could just rinse them off, or, you know, put a little fruit veggie wash on it, rinse it off, and throw it in the pot if I'm like making a soup. Or sometimes I'll actually strip the leaves and I'll mince it. But anyway, very, very useful plant, so get on that one. Okay, so I finally get to introduce my trees. I love my trees so much. Okay, so this is Celine, okay? I chose her from the store. She is a maple. They're actually October Glory maples, okay? So, a maple is really good, I think, to plant. The only thing I would say is that I think with any tree you plant, I see a lot of people planting their trees too close to their house. And be careful with that, because it can really disrupt your foundation to your house. And I've seen that happen with people in my family, actually. We actually have a Mac Daddy tree. It doesn't have a name, but it is, what kind of tree is that?
Magnolia?
Yeah, it's magnolia. So that tree, my mom bought it, and she just didn't think it was gonna be as big as it is. And actually now it's as big as the house, and it's actually growing bigger. And so we're really hoping that there won't be a problem with the foundation there. It's a beautiful, beautiful tree. I love to see it, like, you know, driving up, but we're hoping that it won't become an issue. You know what I'm saying? This is Celine, obviously named after Celine Dion. She's been having like a rough year because it's her, I believe it's her 2nd year, and the 1st year I was involved. I watered them every other day during the summer because it gets so hot in Texas, and if you want a tree to survive, you really gotta baby it like that. But this year we thought, oh, they don't need as much water, like their roots have gone deep enough, but she was having a little bit of trouble. So she's trying to come back, but it's fine because, you know, she's doing fine, and she's gonna make it through the winter, and it'll be fine. So walking over here, Mariah, named after Mariah Carey. Now, she's doing really, really well this season. I think you can see how, since she struggled less, her trunk is a little bit thicker than Celine's, and she grew up a little bit taller than Celine this year too. So she's doing really, really well. She's on her way, you know, and then we're just gonna keep an eye on Celine. And this, my friends, is my favorite tree in the yard. Her name is Whitney. Oh, she's been here for like, I think 5 or 6 years, and oh my God, she's not even a baby tree anymore. She's a big tree. She's an actual tree. I'm so excited. Just look at her. Okay, so the difference between her and Celine and Mariah is that they're October Glory maples, and this is actually this is an Autumn Blaze maple. So they're different varieties. So they're actually gonna have different colors. So that's a really good note. I was running around actually when we bought these trees, trying to look for trees that were just the same as this, but I couldn't find the label. It was only after we had already bought the trees that I found the label. Just know that like these trees look different. So if you're buying like 3 trees at once, make sure that you get the same variety and they're going to go to the same height, because we have that problem with like a few trees in our yard that like they ended up not being the same variety. So if you're buying multiple trees, make sure that that's it, because this is actually an Autumn Blaze. It has different colors than the 2 maple trees over there, which are October Glories. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this gardening video. I really enjoyed sharing with you guys something that's really nostalgic for me. It's a really great way that I spend time with my mom, and I also hope you got some ideas of really easy things that you can grow in your backyard that could make you really happy. And so I hope you have a wonderful week, and love you, chickens. Bye. And like, comment, share, subscribe.
Take a little bit of me, and a little bit of you, and together we can make the world into something